The first 7 places on the grid were covered by 2 seconds, and experts expected the real racers to break away at the front, with the rest forming a second group further back.
And a big crowd waiting for the off. It's Brian Hoskins, the clerk of the course, running for his life. 6 laps ahead, about 20 k's. De Villiers on the far side. We've got Terry Moss alongside here. As we go away from the line, Moss is being out-dragged by Giniel de Villiers, just back from rallying his Touareg in the Silkway Rally in Russia. And there he is leading the field with Terry Moss on his tail. Then we've got Chris Aberdeen in 3rd spot, and Sarel in that white car has moved up a spot.
So we've already said they're in stock standard Golfs. They've been specially prepped just for this race, just to bring the old guys out of retirement so they can have a little bit of fun. And you were down there on qualifying as well as racing, Rod. You said they were having some good time slipstreaming each other around the Killarney circuit, learning from each other and just blowing off those cobwebs.
And then they had Super Pole, and that's where they had to get their grid times. And this is where they started from now. You got Giniel de Villiers. Look how close at all this. We've got some press cars in there. Mk1 Lupini. We've got Sadia Matai from Car Magazine. We've got Pierre Stein from Media 24. Here we are on board with Terry Moss. Coming up to the Malmesbury, and Giniel de Villiers, old circuit. This is his home track. One loop right around there and starts to float. Moss has got to get onto his tail, outbrake him down into the Cape Town end of the circuit if he's going to have any chance of displacing de Villiers.
Well, we were on board with Terry Moss through Malmesbury as they got a drive down onto the main back straight of Cape Town, and he was getting knocked around, so Moss has got some attention from behind and some big key players as well. Moss really wants to come out here. He is representing one of the biggest Audi teams, the main Audi team in South African national racing at the moment currently, so he wants to go out there and show that the old dog knows what he's talking about.
Well, he hasn't driven for 10 years, he claims, nor is Aberdeen, a man who has a few drives in historics, as Sarel van der Merwe. He hasn't lost the message at all. Here they come, as they come across on De Villiers. Then it's Terry Moss on his tail, Chris Aberdeen, that red car's Mk1 Lupini. Here come the others. We've got some rally drivers in there as well. Enzo Kuhn is in there, Pierre Aries, and also Guy Hodson, very fast indeed, as you see, freewheeling their way through Holsuk, and Sarel around the outside has lost a place to Hodson. Oh, he's not going to like that. Hodson, of course, a rally navigator. No ways should he be going as quickly as these racing drivers, but he is.
Not at all, but he's talking the talk. Now he's walking the walk. We go on board again with Terry Moss, and he is really feeling like he has got the beating of Giniel de Villiers. We saw him have a look going through turn number 1, through turn number 2 again. He's definitely got some different lines, and I think he is lining up just to try and find a little bit of daylight, but he's going to go for the move. You can see it's coming on.
And these guys are all champions. Terry Moss, you see in shot now, he was 3 times the West Bank modified champion. He's been a single-seater champion as well. Here comes de Villiers, Dakar winner, back from a rally, as we say in Russia, especially back for this event. And coming through there, number 7 is Chris Aberdeen on his tail, giving a little shove through there is Sarel van der Merwe, the icon of South African motorsport. There's looking in his mirrors as de Villiers. And just look how easily he's relaxed at the wheel. As you'll see some of the others there, totally relaxed, they're racing, and he's going to swap it up to 5th. There he goes, down to the Cape Town end. And Moss is starting to make a move.
He's going
Aberdeen
to the outside.
watching.
There's that line that he's going to the outside. He's going to switch it back. De Villiers goes a little bit too deep, and Moss somehow gets that line through on the inside. I haven't even seen some of the Bridgestone production cars get a line that right going down in the Cape Town corner. Terry Moss now, he's the one looking in the rearview mirror. Where is the counter-attack going to come from? Giniel de Villiers now down into 2nd place, but remember, the 3rd and 4th place battle is all about Sarel van der Merwe. He's in 4th place at the moment as the leaders touch.
Wow, and you talk about where's the counter battle coming from? It's all behind them, a traffic jam at last, and holding on to his leaders, Moss. De Villiers goes round the outside, he just hangs on there. He'll be back, and Aberdeen's just waiting to see them make a mistake. Here we are, we go back with Chris Aberdeen, closing on De Villiers. Ahead of him, he's got Terry Moss, gone to the front. We've got a new leader here. Just behind is Sarel van der Merwe. He comes in that white car. Just behind. Then we've got Glyn Hall moving in. There's Hodson in there as well, Glyn Hall.
Sarel changes up his line as well. He's trying to open up that hole, the same as we saw Terry Moss go through. And all of a sudden, we have a battle, a 3-way battle for 3rd place on the road. This is giving a massive advantage to Terry Moss. He is, well, I was going to say he's starting to stretch his legs. He's not. Giniel de Villiers goes around the outside, and then a hole opens up on the inside. They both get forced wide.
And look who's gone to the front. Let them have their bumping and barging. Chris Aberdeen hasn't driven a racing car for 10 years, flies helicopters, runs a lot of companies, very successful companies. He was a champion too. He won actually a 24-hour race in a Golf in Germany as well, and of course in touring cars and then those West Bank, those mighty Audis as well. Here we go now, it's Aberdeen. Trying on the outside is Moss, moving out. We've got Sarel van der Merwe in the mix as well, coming in there. Behind, De Villiers gone back to 4th. Can you believe it? Pushed out of the way. Then we've got Guy Hodson, we've got Sarel van der Merwe. They're swapping and changing, and Glenn Hall is starting to join the party as well.
Glenn Hall tags onto the back of this. He's in 5th place at the moment. And look at him. He just looks like he's in a boardroom meeting. Very relaxed, just taking it as he would in a day-to-day business. And we've got a 6-car battle out front. We knew it was going to be tight. We didn't think it would be this close, though, Roger.
I tell you what, and they are trying. You know, everybody said we're having a lot of fun here. Boy, there were egos, there's reputations at stake. Coming up, they're giving a bump is Moss. Chris Aberdeen is the leader. Moss wants to let him know that he's there, as if he doesn't know he's right on his reading the word West Bank, Continental, Chris. You couldn't get it much closer. Here he comes. And look on the outside, and it's Sarel pushing Hodson. Sarel has pushed Hodson off the road. He might have given a bit of trouble, and Sarel's coming back. He's gone back in the field, but he has dealt with Guy Hodson.
I think I'm actually able to say this. Classic Sarel van der Merwe?
Maybe. Sarel's never been a great pusher, actually, in Michele Lupini. Look at this, 3 abreast as they come down into Damstep. It's Aberdeen. On the outside is Moss trying to slingshot. Then it's De Villiers. There's Moss. Terry Moss moves in. De Villiers has been pushed back a wee bit. As we look back from De Villiers, it's Moss on his tail. Then we've got Glenn Hall is right there too. And Glenn Hall, of course, won the South African Rally Championship in a golf, in a GTR. It was a Class B golf, a real turn-up for the books. And, of course, in the Dakar racing, if you want a vehicle to do anything in the Dakar, Glenn Hall's got to build it for you.
Can you imagine how Giniel de Villiers is feeling, Rog? He was leading early on. He got bumped, and I think it was in a matter of 1 lap, all the way back to 4th place. Now he's getting up there. He's battling into the top 3. But check out the lines he's got on. This is trying to ride around the outside going into Cape Town corner. It is possible, but you've got to find some grip where no one else can.
Yeah, from 4th, he's looking for 1st. He's got Aberdeen to pass. As we say, the Dakar winner. What talent we've got in this field. They have lost no message of racing these cars around the circuit. Remember, as Matt says, standard cars, they're basically rental cars, returned to Volkswagen or fleet cars. They put a roll cage in a racing seat, put on standard Continental tyres, and they are getting extraordinary grip. No tyres have been skimmed at all. Here we come now. Aberdeen, he's got Moss worrying him. De Villiers has gone from 4th to 3rd. That's him on the inside, with the Conti thing or the Conti stick on the outside. It's a race to the finish. These guys are giving it everything they got. This is the last lap. There's about 2.5 Ks. And look at this. Lupini's been surrounded there with Sarel van der Merwe. Oh, and he's going wide. And the crowd love that.
Enzo Kuhn that was trying to get up the inside as well. And that was the battle out for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th on the road. Top 3 have definitely got away, though. This is a great battle, though, for 6th on the road.
How is that? That's Michele Lupini holding up the cards there for the press cords. Lupini, we've got Sadia Matai from Car Magazine, this Pierre Stein from Media 24. Here are the leaders. It's Aberdeen in the front. Aberdeen in the front with a straight and a couple of corners to go. Looking back from Giniel de Villiers. He lies 2nd at the moment. There's Terry Moss. Glenn Hall is a little bit further back. It's fantastic stuff. And these guys, incidentally, are lapping at 1 minute 40. That would have been very good 20 years ago in a Golf GTR. And here in a little 1.6 CitiGolf, they're doing these sort of times on standard time.
Last corner then, Rog. Yeah. Last corner. Here we go. It is do or die. Giniel de Villiers, he's boxed to the outside. He may be able to get the run, but check it out. Just getting moved over. Aberdeen just moves him over the whole way. Terry Moss is on his wheel as well. And it is 1, 2 and 3. Charge into the line. We're on board with Terry Moss. He hasn't got it left. The line is just up ahead. 1, 2 and 3 coming at you.
It's photo finish time as they get the checkered flag. Aberdeen, de Villiers and Moss covered by 0.3 of a second.
The cars of Chris Aberdeen, Giniel de Villiers and Terry Moss were covered by a mere 0.3 of a second over the finish line, with Glenn Hall another 2 seconds adrift in the 4th place. Generally speaking, it was a happy group of drivers who returned to the pits. While Terry Moss indicated there is still wino left behind his horn, Giniel de Villiers summed up the race.
Yeah, I must say that was great fun, you know, brought back memories again, but I had quite a good start off the line, and then Terry was following me, and then at one stage he tried to get past, we touched a little bit, and then Chris scored us. So it was a ding-dong battle. I went from 1st to 4th at one stage, and I had to fight my way back up to 2nd, but no, it was great fun, you know, I really enjoyed it, and it's nice, you know, to do this kind of racing again after so many years not being at the circuit, so I hope we have a nice second race as well.
Race 2, and it is all to do once again, but this time Cape Town has come to the party as well. What is it delivered? Rain! Race 2 is going to be a slippery affair, and we saw how close the racing was in race number 1. Terry Moss up the inside, getting squeezed out a little bit. He's going to enter corner number 1 in 4th.
And Glenn Hall has taken his chances there. He's going to, of course, get a bang there from Terry. And look at a little bang, then he recovers, he gets another one. Just
and another one, and another one, and another one.
As they slip, and believe me, these are standard Conti tires on these cars. Nothing's been done, no skimming, nothing. And this is the way they can handle the wet. It's incredible that they get a grip on the road like that, or maybe they don't.
Don't always get the grip, Rog. Terry Moss going a little bit wide, but he is got the early laps going, and some spinners further back. Car number 13, unlucky for some, Jeff Mortimer.
And we've got another one starting to spin. They all seem to want to spin up. There's Lupini coming through now in car number 3 as he comes through. Who we got here? And we got Sadir Matai from Car Magazine. He's really done a great job for Car Magazine, I want to tell you, in these wet conditions. He asked Sarel before, what should I do on the road? Give me some advice for a race. And Sarel says, just stay out of my way.
Out front is still Aberdeen. Terry Moss is trying to make his way through. We go on board with him again. Check how he finds a completely different line up the inside there. That was because he was doing straight line braking rather than trying to make the arc. And all of a sudden, there's a bit more room for him. The guys in front climbing the curbs. Moss has got the good drive. And by the time we get into turn number 1 again, this is the end of lap number 1, he's going to be able to make that pass.
And look at that for a comeback. He's come back up to 4th. I think he's got highly tuned wiper blades. They go faster than most of the others, so you can see where he's going. And the rain is just bucketing down here at the Killarney circuit, but the crowd have stayed to watch, boy. They're not going to move one little inch as they come through there. Number 2 is Glyn Hall, doing very well. Steady, Glyn. He's just done a very good job. He's right there in the picture and not letting the others getting too far away.
Tagged onto the back of that pack as well, the white car that is just coming through that haze, Sarel van der Merwe, and arguably that's who everyone has come to watch.
Yeah, he's the icon of motorsport. Sarel's the best known driver in South Africa, but it's Chris Aberdeen still hanging on to that lead in the front. He won the first race. He's got De Villiers on his tail. He's certainly used to all weathers. Is Giniel, this man from Stellenbosch. Here they come now. Look at those super fast wipers that Terry Moss has picked up. Probably went to the factory and asked for a super sport wipers, because they certainly clean his. And De Villiers is keeping him out as they come up to Malmesbury corner.
Roger, I'm loving the observations. I absolutely am. It doesn't matter about line choice. It's all about the wipers. That's what makes you a fast driver. Actually, I wanted to ask you something, Rod. You were obviously around when all these guys have been racing through the years, through the decades. Who out of all these guys was a wet weatherman?
I'm not really sure. I think all of them are very good in the rain. Sarel was good, Terry Moss, all of these guys, Chris Aberdeen. No, I mean, a good driver's good in all sorts of weather. Some are better than the others. But okay, here we go down. Chris Aberdeen, and on his tail, who has he got? It's got Terry Moss, went back to 5th or 6th, has come up to 2nd, past De Villiers. They're just gingerly going around something, and a big puddle down there.
See that thing? It was like a tidal wave at the bottom of Cape Town corner. It is a banked corner, so you're going to have to go wide. That line that Terry Moss found in the early laps, that's not going to be there a lap later. There's just a swamp down there now.
Sarel van der Merwe starting to move into. He's got these guys lined up ahead of him. As they come down there, it's going to be Moss around the outside. Can you believe it? Spun off at engine corner a lap or 2 ago, went 6th. He's going to get the lead. I don't think so, says Aberdeen. And he's fighting to control it on the curbs. He's trying everything he knows. He knows that Terry Moss will come at him from any side. Here they come on the break.
Terry Moss has got supreme confidence in his car and his capabilities, and those Conti tyres on his car are working solid. A good shunt, and Aberdeen goes farming. Great driving from Terry Moss. A little bit of underbraking, he may say that, but he's through into the lead.
And that's very typical Terry Moss stuff. He's taken over the lead. The Aberdeen now has lost a lot of places. Here comes Moss. De Villiers, the L firm's back there. De Villiers looking for a way to come past, to go through Malmesbury in a long loop, and Glyn Hall has moved up into 3rd position. Further back we've got Mk1, Lupini with Kuhn and Hodson, and all the others are in there as well. And we've got Pierre Aries. He's the navigator for Herken Fecken, who's the South African rally champion, the reigning champion, and looking for another title. Look at this on the inside, coming down through Damstip, or Shell Corner as they call it, and it's De Villiers has taken the lead. He's just sizing Terry Moss up, and he's taken it, and he's going to make his car wide as they come up to the Malmesbury end of the circuit. Here they come now. It's a long loop through. They go into the curb on the inside, go out to the outside, then pull it into the inside, and he's not giving Terry Moss any leeway at all. He's making his car good and wide. It's going to be a drag all the way down to the Cape Town end.
Roger, I've just got to mention, in 3rd place, last time we came through Malmesbury, Sarel van der Merwe has joined the party. He is up into 3rd place. So 3 men we've always wanted to see do battle in the raging rain down here at Cape Town. Giniel de Villiers leads over Terry Moss and Sarel van der Merwe. I'll tell you what, it is history being written here. Rewritten, in fact.
He'll need a few laps to get past these two. They're not going to let Sarel get past, and Glyn Hall has just moved in to 4th position as well, and looking very good. Here's Terry Moss now looking for De Villiers. Where's he going to take him as he goes down to Holzhoek? Here the pit boards are red. I think the pit mechanics have gone into the pits. It's raining too hard. Here they come. He's going to try it round the outside. Terry, he'll do late braking. Here he comes down the outside. Is it going to work from all those tires going to hold? He's going to go round the outside. Still De Villiers on the inside. Then it's Sarel van der Merwe. Glenn Hall is the next man along.
Hall spinning out. Hall got a little bit loose, came a little bit too wide, late on the brakes, and that is giving a huge advantage to Sarel van der Merwe. But the battle still rages out front. Terry Moss really favouring these outside lines, and I think it's because most of the Killarney circuit is cambered, so he's going for the dry lines at the top. And again, another little bit of touching, but Giniel de Villiers was wise to it, turned into the skid, and he has lived to stave that second place at the moment. But Terry Moss goes through into the lead.
And Sarel van der Merwe looking where he can pass him. De Villiers, of course, loving this actual racing, because in things like the Dakar, and look at Terry Moss, four-wheel drifting there through Damstip or Shell Corner. Sarel van der Merwe just waiting for a chance to get through. Lupini comes through. Here's Kuhn. Here they come through. Number 12 and number 7 is Chris Aberdeen. He's making his way up through the field, but there's not enough laps left for him.
Aberdeen's starting to recover, but like you say, we are running out of laps frantically. Terry Moss has pulled the plug, getting around, and he has left Giniel de Villiers to deal with Sarel van der Merwe. Sarel looking left, looking right. There is no way to get through into Cape Town corner, but there is a big bunch. Second place, we can't call it. Terry Moss, though, super aggressive in race number 2. He's hit the front and he is getting away.
Well, that's great motor racing. In the wet, in the dry, they put on a great show as they come up to the line. Look at this other bunch coming through, and we've got them spinning. We've got Chris Aberdeen being nudged there by Kuhn. 5 comes through, that's Hodgson, and then Kuhn goes off the circuit. Does he lift his foot? No, he doesn't.
Never. Tit for tat going there. He kept it buried and he kept it on. Terry Moss, though, great show of aggressive driving to take the second win of the day down at Cape Town. Giniel de Villiers in second and Sarel van der Merwe in third.
Apart from winning the extremely wet race ahead of 2009 Dakar winner Giniel de Villiers and multiple race champion Sarel van der Merwe and Glenn Hall, Terry Moss managed to set the quickest lap time, scoring 1 for circuit races. Afterwards, there were wide smiles all around in the pits, with the various brushes out on the circuit forgiven and forgotten. Even the maestro was happy.
Yeah, it was a lot better. I started in 8th and finished 3rd. But I needed another 2 laps. By the time I got through the double, the other guys had a bit of a gap on me, and I had to close that down first. And yeah, no, I'm a lot happier than last time.